outstanding. They shut down the interior run. We saw the wave of depth that they said they had at defensive end show up in this ball game. James Houston got in there and got some touches and got active in the backfield. You saw Ezeraku, I thought he had a really good game against Jordan Mailata. He beat him a couple of times in the backfield. We saw Dante Fowler get action in the back, got a hit. Nealon had some success on both ends of defense. So was very impressed with Solomon Thomas as well. The defense for Dallas actually came ready to play. We talk about A.J. Brown, 1 catch for 8 yards. Maybe that was because of the coverage of the back end. We got to see the all 22 to judge that. But, hey, credit to Dallas's defense. The offense had to hold up its end of the bargain, and you expect CeeDee Lamb to be that guy to make those plays as opposed to what we saw transpire in that fourth quarter.
Mac, our resident Super Bowl defender here, what did you make of the defensive effort here? Because I was looking at that run game coming into this one. Jerry says we want to bolster the middle to stop the run, and it was the edges that were unkept, allowing Jalen Hurts in the first half to kind of get out and pad those rushing numbers. Philadelphia finishes with 158 on the ground, almost all of that coming in the first half. What did you make of the run-stop effort specifically for Dallas?
You know what, I applaud Matt Eberflus for the adjustments because, to your point, in the first half, it looked like it was going to get ugly. Jalen Hurts wasn't throwing the football well, but he was running the football well. Coming out, making things happen. Like I said, a +1 in the running game. I love that about Jalen Hurts. But what we saw in the second half was defensive linemen rushing with the right, proper gap integrity, making sure they keep containment on Jalen Hurts. To Emery's point, making sure they're stout in the interior of the offensive line, not allowing Saquon Barkley to find those small creases. So, yes, they made the necessary adjustments. We feel like this would take some time for them when you look at this new team, this new personnel and everything they have going on. But what we saw was the adjustments being made, and Kenny Clark showcased why he is a high-level interior player as well. So I love the how collective they came together to make the adjustments and fly around and play better football in the second half. And that's why this is a tough game for the Cowboys in terms of how they lost this ball game, because they played well enough to win. They just didn't make the necessary plays they needed to make in a night in which Jalen Carter was not participating. So this could be a building block. But like I said, in the National Football League, when you lose games you're supposed to win, these are games that will come back and bite you in the end of the season in terms of that playoff seeding and trying to get into the tournament. But like you guys, I know it's not like, giving them a certificate. We love the fight, but they allowed one to slip through their fingers, and hopefully they can get out of their way with this situation and be better in the next outing.
To B-Mac's point, this could end up being like how that first game of last season was between the Bengals and Browns. Now you look at it at week 17, like, man, had
Bengals
they won
and Patriots,
had they won that game, this would have been it. Had Dallas won this game, this could be the difference between going home to the postseason or being in the postseason.
It all adds up to a number in the end, and like B-Mac said, there's no ribbons to be handed out on this night. Instead, a W and an L. We assign them accordingly. Bryant McFadden, Emery Hunt. Appreciation, fellas. All right, a look here at what the Light did. Or the Lightning, that is. 44 points, none after. 7 drives, and again, 5 punts. 1 hour and 3-minute lightning delay put the season opener on ice for a bit, but we got to the finish line, and the Eagles got there first. Conversation continues with Emery Hunt and Bryant McFadden. Some new pieces on this Eagles defense that we're excited to see come together throughout this season. This is the first data point. Emery, what'd you make of some of those new faces on the defensive side?
Love the athleticism at the second level, man. Zach Bond we knew about, right? But we've seen him run sideline to sideline, chase down some perimeter runs, and made some plays on defense. But how about Jahai Campbell, the rookie inside backer out of Alabama? We saw him carry the seam route by these tight ends consistently all throughout the ball game. If he's able to carry these tight ends down the seam and make things tough for a quarterback to try to fit the ball into, man, they have a whole new set of problems in trying to make things happen against this Philadelphia Eagles defense. So impressed with the second level more so. You got, Jay Alexander as well, edge rusher. You have Nolan Smith. We know about those guys. But the inside linebackers being able to cover that much ground, very impressive.
And you're talking about the linebackers and how well they played tonight. They were successful in doing what they did without Jalen Carter in the lineup. Now, we don't know his status for next week, but one thing we know for sure, he will be back in the lineup at some point this season. And when he is back in the lineup, everything else will flow even better. My only concern with the Eagles, when you look at the youth movement in the secondary, just getting the chemistry together, because that was that area was one of the more consistent units on their defense a year ago. They lost some key contributors from that Super Bowl winning team, and now they're trying to, repeat some of the same success. Quinyon Mitchell is a dude. Cooper DeJean is a dude. They got to find out who is going to step up and be able to be another consistent cover guy opposite of Quinyon Mitchell. We saw Dory Jackson in there start off the game. He had some issues, made a few plays, but whoever's playing opposite of Quinyon Mitchell, they're going to be standing on eggshells because they will see a lot of action. And they better be ready for that tall task, because last time I checked, I think the Eagles have like 10 opponents that were playoff teams from a year ago. That is a tough gauntlet in terms of the quarterbacks you will see, along with the pass catchers they have the luxury of throwing the football to.
I mean, unless they're going on a road to someone serious, they're going to be a favorite in each and every one of those games, because you pick the sample size, whether it's games started and finished by Hurts or the last 18 games. This is a Philadelphia Eagles team that is 17-1 over their last 18 games, including the playoffs. Here's a look at the road ahead, and we got a good one coming up in week 2 as they will take on a Chiefs team that they embarrassed globally just some months ago in that Super Bowl 59 win. Mac, I'm interested in your point of view on this, having hoisted that sticky Lombardi a couple times in your career. The encore performance, what are some of the hurdles that might get in the way of a Philadelphia team that's completely capable of doing it again?
Health and just being lucky. When you look at championship teams that win it all, they're not always the most talented team, but sometimes luck plays a major part as well. And just staying healthy. And the most fatiguing part about being a Super Bowl champion is every week you get in the opposing team's best effort. And that's a very, very fatiguing thing mentally. It's almost like when they're playing against you, that is their Super Bowl week. So all the film study they're going into, the field prep, is like getting ready for a Super Bowl, because they're playing against the guys who just hoisted the sticky Lombardi. So it's a long season. And even in tonight's matchup, you look at some of the uphill battles that we saw from the Cowboys, they had a game plan in place. They were equipped for this game, but of course it fizzled out. So that's why it's hard to see teams go back to back in the National Football League, because of how difficult every week is. And to your point, they had a tough matchup tonight against a team that they're more talented than. Next week, it doesn't get any easier, because guess what? They go on the road, if I'm not mistaken, to Arrowhead, as he mentioned. And then after Arrowhead, guess who they got? The Rams. So when you look at their schedule, being a Super Bowl champion, yes, you're a primetime matchup because of your success, but everybody is coming to you to showcase that we can beat the Super Bowl champion. Look at the schedule.
Bucks and Broncos ain't a layup. Giants are going to have some defense. We'll see what the Vikings are. The Giants, again, you get a breather with the bye, and not much outside of that, because second half they go Packers in primetime, Lions in primetime, these Cowboys again. Who knows what the Bears will be by then? It's a gauntlet, Emery Hunt.
Hey, Joe, Emery, do you feel what I'm putting down? I don't need to say anything. We can just look at the schedule and you ask about being, trying to return to that level. It's hard. It's hard, but it's doable, but it's hard.
It's funny because, yeah, it's hard, it's tough, it's challenging, but the only challenge is yourself. You cannot spit on an opposing player.
I think I have a pregame quote. I asked Emery Hunt, who can beat the Eagles this season? And your answer was?
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
And we got week 1, game 1,
Eagles
play 1. It's like, bro, what are you doing? That's the type of stuff that keeps you from going back to back. So if we got this unexpected chaos, game 1, not even play 1, because no play happened yet, man, of course we're going to get in our own way if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, because they have the quarterback, they have the running back, they have the defense, they have the pieces, they have the mindset that you want going in. But if you're going to do stuff like this before the game even is underway and you're a significant part of this team, this is the type of stuff that keeps you from going to the Super Bowl once again.
Keep it above board, and we might see it in Santa Clara. A lot of time and a lot of football between now and then. Bryant McFadden and Emery Hunt, Excited for another season.
What's up, Cowboys Nation? It's Victor here with Dallas Cowboys today. And oh man, do I have a juicy one for y'all today. The son of primetime himself, Shiloh Sanders, has officially been cut loose by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And guess what? There's already buzz out there that the Dallas Cowboys could be his next stop. That's right, Deion Sanders' son rocking the star on his helmet, carrying on the family legacy in Dallas. Can you even imagine the headlines? But here's the thing, is this move about football, or is it just Jerry Jones doing a favor for his old friend Deion? And would Shiloh even bring value to our roster right now? We've got a lot to unpack. Before we jump in, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments. Would you want the Cowboys to sign Shiloh Sanders, even if it's just to the practice squad? Or do you think this would be more about marketing than production? Shiloh Sanders' situation. So here's the deal. Shiloh Sanders, rookie defensive back, just got waived by the Bucs after he got himself ejected in the final preseason game for throwing a punch at Bills tight end Zach Davidson. Not the smartest way to end camp. Now, there was some thought that Tampa would bring him back on the practice squad, but so far, nothing. And now, NFL insiders are pointing out the Cowboys as the most likely landing spot. Why? Simple. Jerry Jones has always had a strong relationship with Deion Sanders. Deion is Cowboys royalty. He's prime time. And Jerry has never been shy about bringing in guys with connections to Cowboys legends. The family factor? Now let's not ignore this. Shiloh's brother is Shiloh Sanders, the young quarterback drafted by the Browns. So the Sanders family is getting plenty of attention in the NFL right now, but the Browns probably don't want both brothers on the same roster. Too much media distraction, too much noise. That leaves Dallas as the perfect storyline. Imagine Jerry Jones saying, "Hey Prime, I got your boy a shot." For Jerry, it's not just about football, it's about headlines, business, and keeping the Cowboys in the national conversation. And signing Shiloh Sanders would do exactly that. Can Shiloh actually play? Alright, let's talk football, because at the end of the day, we don't care about storylines if the guy can't contribute. Shiloh Sanders at Colorado under Deion wasn't a bad player. He played safety, he had 53 tackles and 1 interception in 2023, and he flashed some solid coverage skills. But here's the reality. He's not an elite prospect. He went undrafted for a reason. Right now, his best shot in the NFL is as a practice squad DB, developing behind the scenes, maybe playing on special teams. He's not coming in to be a day one starter, but that doesn't mean he can't carve out a role. Plenty of guys, especially defensive backs, work their way up from the practice squad. And if there's a team that could sell the Deion Sanders' son in Dallas story, it's the Cowboys. The Cowboys DB room right now. Let's look at where he'd fit. The Cowboys already have Trevin Diggs coming back from injury, Darren Bland, who just led the league with 9 interceptions last year, and Jordan Lewis in the slot. Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson are holding down the safety spots. So Shiloh wouldn't crack the rotation right away, but as depth, as a developmental piece, and on the practice squad where he could learn and grow. It actually makes sense, especially when you factor in how thin depth can get late in the season with injuries. Having an extra safety with ties to prime time isn't the worst move in the world. The business side, here's the other thing nobody's saying out loud. Jerry Jones loves a headline. This is the same owner who signed Terrell Owens, who drafted Dez Bryant, who traded for Amari Cooper, all because he loves the splash. Imagine the marketing. Cowboys signed Deion Sanders' son. Jerseys sell, national media covers it, and fans start paying attention. That's how Jerry thinks. So even if Shiloh is just a practice squad guy, don't underestimate Jerry's willingness to pull the trigger just for the story. So Cowboys Nation, let's wrap this up. Shiloh Sanders got waived by the Bucs after a rough preseason, and the Cowboys are being floated as a legit destination. Would he be a difference maker right away? Probably not. But as a practice squad guy, as a depth piece, and as the son of a Cowboys legend, it makes sense. So my question for y'all, should Jerry Jones bring Shiloh Sanders to Dallas, even if it's just to the practice squad, or would this be nothing more than a publicity stunt? Drop your answers in the comments. I'll be going through and replying to as many as I can. And hey, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Dallas Cowboys Today, and share this with your fellow Cowboys fans so we can get this debate going across Cowboys Nation. Until next time, I'm Victor, and as always, go Cowboys!